Now that we kind of understand refraction, let's kind of take it to some things that we can make. We can make a prism. A prism is, here's a prism here. Okay. A prism is a prism refracts light. It's like a lens, and it can make rainbows. Let's see if I can make a rainbow with my light box. I want to kind of get in the shot myself. All right. So here I need my light. Actually, I can pull that down because I want to. I'm going to have to be a little fancy here as practicing, since I have to get everything in front of the camera. You can make a rainbow in the ceiling, but that's no use to you, is it? All right, let's see. Maybe I can get it in editing all my mistakes out of here. All right, if I twist this, no, wait, oh, there it is. It's not super impressive, but you see there, it's a rainbow. There we go, red, I don't know if it shows up on the camera, and then blue and violet, all that on the bottom. So, we got a thin line there. Okay. Pull you back over here and give me some mood lighting. Okay. Now let's do for rainbows what your English teacher has done for poetry. Let me ruin it for you. Okay. So rainbows are mathematical. Did you know that? The light comes out at 42 degrees for the red light and 40 degrees for the violet light, and every color in between. So the light does two things when it enters the raindrop. Here comes 2 rays of sun, do, re, mi, fa, sol, re, drop of golden sun. Here comes 2 drops of golden sun. It goes into the raindrop, it enters the water, goes from air to water. As it goes from air to water, it turns. Now it's going to leave the raindrop, and it's going to do another turn again. But it does one thing in between going in and leaving. As it opens the door to go into the raindrop, and then exits through another door, it does one thing inside the raindrop. It bounces off the back. It bounces off the back of the raindrop. That's total internal reflection, because water can reflect internally. The light goes in, and instead of going through, it pops back out. And the light that does pop out, some light will get through if it hits at the right angle, but the light that pops out this way, the colors have been shifted, because not all light refracts equally. Not all colors refract equally. Some wavelengths get snagged more than others. Some frequencies do more bumping than others, and that turns them harder. Bumping in, as this violet light is going up and down with a high frequency, it's going to get turned harder. And so the colors separate. That was one of those questions that those scientists had to wonder about. When they would make glass things, and those glass things would make rainbows on their walls, and they had to say, where does that rainbow come from? Is there a crayon factory in this piece of glass? I don't remember putting any colors in here. Will it ever run out of colors? They had to figure that out. Or somebody eventually, and I think Newton might have been the guy that was partially working on it, but maybe it's part of the light. Maybe the colors are in the light. But no, it's white light. I don't see any red in here. Or was there? And there was red, and we're going to get to that more another time. But it separates out those colors. Diamonds, we learned this in Miss Beery's chapel talk. But the perfect cut refracts light, and you want to refract it back up at the person admiring it. But if you cut it too deep, the light will shoot out the side. Here, look at the side of my diamond. Here, look underneath my diamond, how pretty it is. No, we want it to come right back up at you and have it twinkle all rainbowy. So let's get to the rainbows. Would you look at this? Would you just look at this? This rainbow doesn't look like a rainbow. I thought rainbows were just like an upside down U. But here we see that a rainbow is actually a cone. It's a cone, like the little water cups. With the cone ones there. And it's like you snip the bottom of that cup and you hold it right to your eye. You're only going to see the edge. But it's actually 3D. And the angle is 42 degrees from where your eyes are up will be the red, and then 40 degrees up from there will be the violet, and then you'll have 2 degrees of rainbow shooting out with every other color in between. The rainbow would go 360 degrees all the way around the earth, except there's dirt in the way. But you've seen circular rainbows when you go to a waterfall, when you're in an airplane. Sometimes the rainbow can make a full circle. In your backyard, you can put your sprinkler on mist, and you can make a full circle, right? You know that rainbows can make full circles. They're supposed to make full circles. Now, think about rainbows like this. Rainbows are like watching a movie. When you have a movie, you have to remember the classroom. That's kind of like a movie. We have the screen at the movie theater. We have the projector, which we want to be nice and bright. And we also want the room to be real dark. Now, the screen would be like what in our rainbow? What's the screen on here? What's the movie we're watching? The screen is the raindrops, that wall of water. What's the projector? That's the sun. And then we want it to be real dark. Now, for you to see a rainbow, everything has to be in the right spot. The projector, we always put in a movie theater, we always put it behind us. The light comes over our heads, and then it hits the screen, and then bounces back to us. So what we want to have for a rainbow, because sometimes it rains and there's no rainbow. It's like, oh, there should be a rainbow. This looks like perfect rainbow weather here. But you have to be in the right spot. You have to have the rain in front of you, the sun behind you, and of course you in the middle. And then the darker it is, the better. Like a movie theater, you want nice and dark. Now, you can sit in the movie theater wherever you want. You can sit off to the side, this way. You can sit over this way. The movie will always be there. You're just going to see it at a different angle. So next time it rains, and you think this is good rainbow weather, you go outside and you look. And what you should do is you should point yourself at the rain. If the sun's behind you, then there should be a rainbow. If it's rain up here and the sun's here, well, there's no rainbow there. One has to be behind you. You have to be in the middle. Here, now I kind of ruined rainbows a little bit, but let's give you something back. Everybody gets their own rainbow. Everybody gets their own rainbow. Because you're at your own angle, and your neighbor is at their own angle. They're seeing a different light than you. They're seeing a different angle than you. They're seeing a different refraction than you. It's beautiful for you both. But that's your rainbow. That's your promise. All right. Now, let's look at double rainbows here. Let me make this. See, look here. Here we got our rainbow. Now, there's always going to be a double rainbow. It's just usually we're so focused on the inner rainbow that we go, oh my goodness, look at that. This is the fun thing about double rainbows. The colors are reversed. The colors are reversed. The red is on the inside and the violet's on the outside. Google image it. You'll see it. Every double rainbow is always reversed. The colors are reversed. So it's fun to find that double rainbow. This is like that movie theater though. We're seeing the light reflecting back at 42 and 40 degrees here. And then all of this is just regular light bouncing back at us, but it's all jumbled together so it's more bright. But the part where it got separated is at those angles where we get to enjoy it individually. All right. Look at there. There's that Heidi again. Look at that rainbow. Whoop, over top. Notice she's not wearing any shoes. I was alone watching the kids while other people were skiing. This is Tahoe. And I was like, look at that rainbow, Heidi, come here. And I grabbed her, and I closed the door of the cabin we were at, and I forgot that the door locked behind us. And, well, there was Heidi and me in the cold with no key and no shoes for her because I just went out. So I got the picture, but the problem was I had a 2-year-old sleeping in the cabin that was locked. So I had to pound on the door and hope my 2-year-old would know how to work the doorknob and wake her up. Anyway, cool rainbows, right? Now, the last thing we want to cover before we, the The last thing we want to cover before we part this particular video is mirages. Mirages are a real thing that you can see, a real thing that you can photograph. The way a mirage works is the light is supposed to come down and hit the ground. Dead end, you're not supposed to see it. But what happens is the light comes down and it twists back up into your eyes. So even when you're looking down, you see sky. So when you look up, of course you see sky. That's where the sky is, it's up. But this light that was supposed to go down and stay down, turned up. So even when you look down, you see sky. So when you look down and see sky, you see blue on the ground. We don't sit there and go, the sky is falling, there's sky on the ground. Oh man, I got sky on my shoes. Gross, my Vans are horrible, they're covered in blue. No, what do? We sit there and we go, there's water on the ground. Look at all that puddle out there. Now this is different from a hallucination. A hallucination is all made up in your mind, you're going crazy. But a mirage you can photograph. Let's see a picture. Oh, and here let's also mention this. As this guy gets here, does he actually get to walk in the sky on the ground? What happens? When he gets here, are his eyeballs down here? He finally arrived at the blue spot on the road. But his eyes aren't down here. This light's no longer hitting his eyes. This light's hitting his wheels. So he doesn't see it anymore. When he moves here, his eyes are here, and he sees a new mirage coming from down the road. So if he wants to drink from that puddle, because he's in a bad way, he wants to drink from that puddle, he's got to keep going. And he's driven deeper and deeper and deeper, chasing after a mirage. If he'd only put his head down, he might see that blue light closer. And eventually he'd peek up and go, oh, it's coming from the sun. Look, I even see it's coming from up there now. When you're on a football field, the turf, and it's really hot, you've seen the heat waves coming up. Those are, well, you can call them heat waves, but really that's light refracting. I once had some kids, some students, after learning about this on a hot PE day, one kid sat out in the field and pretended they were swimming. That kid didn't see what it looked like, but the friend did. And the friend had a camera, they could have taken a picture and said, look, half of you's disappeared into the football field because of those heat waves. It could have been photographed. So look here, look at this mirage. So we got a road, we got the road, and we got, this is the sky, but the sky has turned and come back up into our eyes. This color is the same as this color. So we'd say, oh, that's a reflection of the sky. That's a puddle reflecting the sky. No, it's light refracting the sky. Even if this was all green forested mountains, this would show up green on the ground. We'd still think it was water. We'd still think it was water. We'd think it was a puddle reflecting the green mountains. But it's dry road, it's dry hot road, turning the light back up at us, whether it's a blue sky, a red sky, a green forest, whatever you want. If light didn't change its speed, if light just kept always going the same speed, if it refused to slow down, if light would enter a new medium and keep going straight, would there be twinkling stars? Would the light wiggle in the sky? Would your contact lenses work? Would magnifying glasses work? Would you have mirages? Would you have rainbows? We need light to turn if we want to have those things. All right. That's where we're going to end this video, and then we'll have one short one on lenses.